I'm F0xy Grampa. I'm here for an interview with DashFight, and obviously we demand justice for the Queen. I think the rivalry between me and Tekken Master, it goes back a long way and it sways back and forth between games. So this is his game. Last game was even. Game before that was mine. But I don't know, it's kind of both ways. I see him as a rival, but I also see him as like someone who's doing the same thing that I'm doing, just from a different region, against a common opponent, which is the Americas, basically. What makes the matches with Tekken Master so volatile is because you're not playing just the game, you're playing Pokemon versus him, because it's a counter pick fest, and then within that you've got to play the matchup as good as you can within that counter pick fest. It gets ugly. Any strategies for the game of Pokemon, yeah, you just pick the characters that cover each other. That's all you can really do. It's still the same philosophy. I'm not bothered about vengeance on any player here. I just want to rob them all. It's like a contractual obligation almost, even though there is no contract, but it's a contract with myself to rob people of their dreams. Yeah. I don't really have a big variety though. I can play a lot, but I wouldn't say that I play all of them to the same level. There's some that I play better than others. I can just switch focus on which ones I want to play and bring them up to the level I need them at for when I need them. So I'm not switching all over the place. Not really, no, because knowledge is baseline. Like, everyone here knows the game. It's about application of theory. So if you know the game and you know that your opponent is one character main, then surely the logical answer is to learn the character that is their biggest weakness. If they're not going to switch off, that's just them being stubborn for their own detriment. Me being polite and well-mannered to people, that's just, I expect that from anyone to anyone. Like, yeah, I may play like a dick in the game, but the people that get pissed off at me probably are just in the first place, really. If you're just going to be all fucking whiny about it, it's a game at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. But yeah, I'm cool. If you're cool with me, I'll be cool with you. Like, I'm going to show all of my competitors respect because I like them all as people. Like, they ain't done anything wrong to me, and like, you know, I'd help them out if they needed help. There's nothing wrong with anyone here for me to be like intentionally ill-willed. It's not even conflict between me and my opponents when they get mad at me. It's because they're getting destroyed and they can't do anything about it. It's more just a beating and a bunch of tears. That's what it is. Like, it's not real conflict. Like, they ain't gonna do anything about it. If they wanted to do something about it, I doubt they'd even be able to do something about it. Like, they're just some guy behind a PS4 mad because someone's throw looping them or stomping them to death, you know? Get over it, basically. Go to my stream, twitch.tv/F0xy Grampa. Subscribe, yeah, and you'll get, I checked it the other day, there's 575 unique rage messages that I've put on my soundboard that you can play back at your leisure for the minions, yeah? You're all gods in the chat, all right? You are all gods. I feel like with Britain, we always have a relatively high standard of play, and then we have one or two like stars per generation, like you're saying. You got Reinhardt, you got ProblemX, me, and then you got Dizzy and VGY and Josh TQ now. I think them three will be the next. What, people trying to copy my style? I'm used to it now. Like, with each game, there's at least one or two characters that I'll create a game plan for, and people will try and emulate it. But you can't just try and emulate someone's style, because it's not. Everyone thinks about things differently, so you might be able to copy a few bits here and there, but do you really understand why I'm thinking this way? Do I really understand why you're thinking that way? Probably not. There'll be like a common ground, obviously, but it won't be pinpoint. Big differences. Ketchup and Mustard used to be competitors and now they're commentators. Used for Glue used to play. There was more little local groups. So there was, I think it was NBA Manchester Battle Arena. There was Electronic Dojo in Birmingham. So that's like Manchester's up here, Birmingham's here. Then you got PND in London. So there's like 3 rival groups, I guess. And then you had the Scottish. People just fall off. Now it's a lot more individual, I feel. Like, it's about the individual player. Because it's online, people don't need to go anywhere to do things. It's less close, I feel. It's less close, more cutthroat, but also higher skill level. better, like I was saying, the skill level. I feel like because people are coming in with the game already being played at a higher level, it's easier for them to pick it up and understand and then improve on that. So there's that, and what's gotten worse? I don't really think there's anything that's gotten worse. Like, the online's more playable, more of us are going out to events instead of just me. I think what I'd say is something that is stagnant is there's no sponsorship deals for players like me or them to go and like be able to do their thing. They're all like capable of being like stars basically. It's just not there yet. Hopefully WePlay will push that forward. People don't really play outside their region like that. I mean, I'm not fussed about playing Americans online, but Americans are fussed about playing us online. See, I think some of it's to do with ego, some of it is just people don't want to do it. Like it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I think mostly it's probably just to do with ego. People can't handle like one loss because of a lag spike. You know, it's not a big deal. There is nothing on the line. Just play the game. Shut up and play the game, people. It creates regional styles. So, I mean, I can put it in the most simple form, right? Europe in Mortal Kombat holds down. America in Mortal Kombat holds up. Russia in Mortal Kombat holds down 2. Middle East, counter pick, and Brazil, flawless block. See, that's like the most simple thing I can say that each region does. Like, yeah. So there's regional differences in playstyle, if you want to put it like in its simplest form. Yeah, I think they're the 2 things in my life in competing that would perfect my record. Like I need an Evo or a World Championship. So, yeah and no. Like, I'll take it if I can get the opportunity, but at the same time, I'm not incredibly fussed. There's other things I can do. There's more spaces I can occupy now than I could before, like the streaming. They're just going to hold more tournaments. They're going to cut out some games like that aren't related to PlayStation. So Smash is probably getting axed. Killer Instinct's probably getting axed, which is a shame because Smash is bigger than all of us. Killer Instinct doesn't need Evo. They're a resilient community full of good people. So they'll do what they need to do to survive. Hopefully they get a new game and it'll be on PlayStation and then they can get added in. But for us, I feel like with Evo, we weren't treated right ever, really. Our best event was 2015, and even then we weren't treated right. So they'd have to prove themselves to be, worthy of our respect. Because you can't just expect respect just because you're prestigious. You got to, the action speaks louder than the word, doesn't it? Treating the whole community better. Like, why are we always like, we get a new game, we have like the 3rd or highest entrance or something. Why is our top 8 on a Saturday? When you've got a whole ass arena, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. But it's their event, they can do what they want. But if that entails them disrespecting our community, then why should we bother? I mean, for this, I'm not really prepared. I think I'm a volatile, dangerous sort of player to be put against because I got ways of getting into people's heads. It doesn't really matter. I know I'm familiar with offline and online. It's not so much of a difference to me, honestly. Like, my strategy online will work offline. So I just gotta stick to it. Played Mortal Kombat all my life, casually, up until MK9. And then when MK9 was coming out, I was watching all the trailers for it, obsessing over it. I'm an MK fanboy, so I wasn't necessarily playing it to get into fighting games. I was just playing it because I love Mortal Kombat. And then I won my first tournament. The rest is history. Like, I just kept winning, kept going. So here I am. I worked in a hospital for people with dementia and Alzheimer's, and then before that I was working in a pharmacy. So it's all medical sort of stuff, really. And then, yeah, that's it, really. I only done them 2 things, and then I started winning things in MKX, said, yeah, all right, I'll just do this now. And I'm still doing this now, so it's working out all right. No, it wasn't volunteering or anything. I was just sitting there working 13-hour days, 40-hour weeks, sitting in the hospital ward with a bunch of old people with dementia and Alzheimer's and that. Like, it's a sad disease, but someone's got to be there to look after them, innit? Like, so it's got to be done. All off my own back. ProblemX has like played a big part in this, but a lot of it is off my own back still. Pretty self-sufficient, I guess, with this sort of thing. And I feel lucky to be like that, because it's what a lot of people want, and it's what a lot of people can't do. ProblemX, easily, like, right, so MK9, I was just only able to play within Europe. I went to one American event thanks to the community, which was, I'm grateful for that still. So that was my first trip to America ever. MKX came out, I was winning all the things in Britain still, which then led to the next event. So like you win one, you get invited to the next or whatever. And then I got to ESL finals, I think it was, and then, which was a week before Evo. So I got to do them two events. And then after Evo, I think ProblemX came up and said, like, I'm just gonna sponsor you to go to all these events. And I was like, cool, thanks, I appreciate it. And then it was, because he believes in me, and I guess he was right to. So, you know, he sent me to SCR as my first event under PXP, and I won that, so he just kept on going, really. My family are sick. My dad's quality, my mum's quality. Like, I ain't got any complaints about either of them. They're like top tier human beings, really. Like, can't fault them. They'll probably be watching this, like, as good parents would, like, you know. They're good people. And I'm lucky, yeah. All right, yeah, shout outs to everyone in the chat. You are all gods. Shout outs to Twerking Goro on the moon. Hail to the Queen. Restore the Matoka. Yeah, shout outs to everyone that supports me. You are all gods, for real. Like, couldn't do it without you.